Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today it is, Tears Day, the 17th day of the month of Juno, and the moon is waning gibbous. And I didn't do a video yesterday because I went to Center Island. I went to the Centerville Amusement Park in Center Island in Toronto, and I rode the carousel and everything. So it was really fun. But anyway, here I am. So let's see what message wants to come through today. This is a message for whenever you find this video, and for whoever this message is for. I am using the Elder Truth Arc on Birch. So let's get started. Let's see what message wants to come through today. Alrighty, definitely that one. Ooh, interesting. Get the whole reading down to start with. Well, the basic splash. Let's get the whole basic splash down, and then we'll see if we need more. Doopy-doo. Oh, nice. Okay. So, central issue for this message, we have Hagalaz. Hagalaz is the rune, not Haagen-Dazs. It's summer, though. I'm thinking about ice cream. Hagalaz is the rune of the hailstorm. This has to do with chaos and things that are out of our control. It also has to do with weather, so something temporary that blows in and maybe causes some destructiveness. But it also has to do with nature. It can sometimes have to do with, the true nature of a situation or your true nature. Leading up to this, we have Gabo, which is the rune of the gift. This has to do with agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. A gift is always an exchange in the runes. It may also have to do with one-on-one interactions. So there may have been a situation that had a one-on-one interaction with you where something has come up where suddenly things feel like they're out of your control and you've stepped into a place of chaos. This may also have been caused by some obligations that you've been working on. Sorry, I'm just like, this is interesting. I don't usually do this. But I'm actually going to overlay the Gabo. Give us a little bit more clarity on Gabo. Yeah, so you're in a situation where this is all about finding your support and connecting with your support and your support system, basically. It could be people, it could be a system, but it's something that you feel obligated to, but it's also you've got some agreements and things set up with it. Decisions made to do with it and goals set because of it and plans made due to it. And this has to do with your, with your support system. But that's what led up to this point where suddenly things are feeling like they're out of your control. And that's a bit worrying, obviously. And also maybe it's just like temporarily there's some chaotic weather that's blown in. What is going to help you? We have Uruz, which is the rune of the wild ox. This has to do with strength and health and stick-to-itiveness and digging in and hanging in there. You are inherently strong. Just basically don't give up. Stand up in the storm. And this is basically, I don't know if Yona Yuntin has an expression which is be like the bison, which is when the storm comes in, the bison don't run from the storm. They don't hide from the storm. They stand up in it and they face into the storm because then the storm will pass them more quickly. And so that's sort of what you're being advised in this is when the storm blows in, just face into it. You are strong enough and you can dig yourself like plant your hooves and be grounded and ride that storm out just facing it. I am going to grab another rune for the top. Ooh. I'm going to read this as trust in the divine, whatever the divine is for you. This blank rune, so it's basically just understanding that we don't know what's coming. You don't know what the situation is. This is a trackless situation, embracing that fact. And whatever the divine is for you, to connect with that, because that's going to help you get through this. So just stand up in the storm, stick to it. Just basically, plant your feet, be grounded. Remember how strong you are. Remember how inherently strong you are. And that's probably your best way to ride this out. Now I'm going to lay another one down here for, I don't know which direction that wanted to be. I'm going to go like that. For the lower one, just for the balance. Ooh, that's like, let's just tip this down a little bit. There we go. Give us a little bit more centering on this reading. What isn't going to help you is we have Ingvaz. Ingvaz is Ing's rune. Ing is another name for Frey, and Frey is the fertility god. I read this rune as active creation. In the lower line, I see this as trying to force something to be something that it isn't. This is like the dog in the cartoon sitting there in the place that's on fire going, this is fine. Don't just assume everything is fine. However, also, given that this is basically, you are writing it out, you're not assuming it's fine, but you're facing into the storm and you're basically letting it go by. But you're actually facing into it. You're facing it. You're facing the facts of it. What isn't going to help is the fact that you're trying to shape it into something that it isn't. And you're not going to be able to just, business as usual kind of thing. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be, okay, we're facing into this storm. Yeah, you can't just go with the flow on this. You can't just, because you're going to get buffeted around is the thing. So we have Ingvaz, which is active creation. We have Laguz, which is the rune of communication. Laguz is the rune of water. So it's emotion, intuition, heart, and flow. And these are both positive runes in the negative spot. So these are not only worries about those things, but definitely, so you're worried about that you're not going to be able to, you don't have the control that you want, first of all, because once Hagalaz shows up, it's out of your control to a certain extent, even when it's just nature, and even when it's your nature, it's things that are out of your control. So you're worried about being able to have any control in this situation. And for Laguz is, it's basically, you're worried about, the forward flow of things. You're worried about, where your heart's at. You're worried about your emotions. And you're worried about intuition. You're doubting your intuition. Like, how do I know? Am I going to be able to get through this? But on the other read of this, it is trying to shape something into something that it isn't, trying to force something to take that on, the qualities of what it actually doesn't actually have the qualities of. It is actually a storm, and you are, trying to get through it. And you're not going to be able to get through it if you just pretend everything is normal. What isn't also going to help, what that leads to is, that's going to basically make you very upset and very emotional, and your emotions are going to be very upheavally and just very much in the forefront. If you start to do that, then it's going to become very, very frustrating. And especially if you're going to be denying the way that you're feeling about things, then that's just going to surge up. It's like a bubble under the wallpaper. You can't flatten it because it's going to pop up somewhere else. So it's that sort of thing. Yeah, so acknowledge what's happening and face into it and put your faith in whatever the divine is for you. This could be lots of things for lots of different people. But the other thing about the blank rune is that we want to, recognize that this is a trackless situation. You don't actually have a map for this situation. So you're basically standing up. The one thing that you need to do is get through the storm. And the only way out of the storm is through. So standing up in it, facing into the storm so that the ending of the storm is going to hit your nose first. So really that's the only thing. Just stand strong, remind yourself how strong you are. This is not a situation where you can continue as usual. You definitely need to, I'm just going to move this over here. You definitely need to, to face this in a way that it's not normal. You can go back to normal afterwards, but the storm just has to be waited out. And the nice thing about storms is that they are by nature temporary. Your next step on the path line and the outcome rune in this particular spread is Othala. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. This is it's security, it's solace, it's comfort zone. Yeah, and by the end of this, you'll be back into a feeling of comfort, and you'll feel probably more in a sense of solace and sanctuary and comfort than before, because you will have gotten through this. This Othala, so home and the homeland, and it's upright. So yeah, getting through this is just a way is not just a way, but it is a way that you can actually reinforce your sense of security and comfort, because you will have been able to survive through this storm and get through it and realize that there's more around you that is supporting and comforting you than perhaps you previously realized. So that is the message that wanted to come through today. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.